Hello. Welcome to this Sunday afternoon live. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am going to have my friend Sara join us on live today, and I can't wait for all of you to hear her story and just not only story, but just hear this business and what it is doing for so many people. So I think Sara is on now. So really
Hello.
quick, hey, really quick, if you are catching me live, if you are catching us live, if you could hashtag live, and if you're catching the replay, I always say they're just as good. If you could hashtag replay for me, it helps this video reach everyone who needs to see it. And so thank you all so much for being here. Sara is going to start us off by just kind of sharing her story, how she got here, and a little bit about what this business has done for her. So Sara, welcome. Thank you for being on with me today. I am so excited for you to share your story.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. I am a wife and a mom of four. We are a blended family. So I have two boys and he has a daughter and a son. So we have a big family and we just got married in October. So navigating all those fun things about mixing two
Yeah,
families.
yeah.
We have another business that we own here in the Metroplex. In North Texas. So
Okay.
I do that. I work from home with it, and then he goes out in the field. So that's exciting as well, very busy. And I started in the online world 12, 13 years ago. When I became a mom and really just wanting to help my health and create income, started dabbling into different companies. I worked in purchasing in healthcare. And so being away in a cubicle and fluorescent lights and away from the kids all the time, like I hated it.
Yeah.
Literally craved just to get out. Like I just, before I even would go, I was already in anxiety. So it started my journey of trying to create additional income and um,
Is
sorry,
that
there's like
better? Sorry,
feedback.
is
I don't
that
know where.
better, Glenn? Is that better? Hang
Yeah,
on.
I think you can see it
Okay.
right now on the split screen. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
sorry if there's feedback. I don't know where it's coming from because I don't
We
have anything
can't
on.
hear it. I know you said that on your live too, but I can't hear it.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Cool.
yay, Glenn. That's better. Yay.
So I guess going back before that, I um, went through high school, went through college. I worked full time and went to school full time, followed the path that I was told to do, of course,
Mhm.
and just always felt the pull to do my own thing, to get out of a cubicle, to own my own time and my schedule. And once becoming a mother, that was amplified like crazy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I just never, no matter what company I was with, no matter how many hours I tried and committed, no matter how uncomfortable I got, I could never make more than my auto ship, basically. And most months, I was just spending the money on the auto ship and then glued to my phone. And I hated that because that was the opposite of why most of us started on the business.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We're looking for to like financial freedom, and it wasn't happening. So fast forward up through December of 23, I believe it was, and I had a great month. Again, it was just a little bit over my auto ship, but see, I'm telling you, I thought,
Wait
Gwen, I
a
don't know what it's from.
second. Let me turn off my mic and see if that helps on your end. Hang on.
Okay. All right. Is it still echoing, Gwen? I don't think so. Okay, I guess we'll do this. I don't know. Um, so I had a really great month. I was doing all the things that I had done for over a decade, but for some reason it was working this particular month. But I just came in shy of where I needed to be for the next rank up, the bonus, all of that. And so when the month ended and I didn't quite hit it, and the first rolled around and it was all taken away, I literally just felt it like suck out of me. And I was just like, what? How? Why? Like, why would you take that away? We've worked hard for that. And I know I'm not the only one, because like that's the industry standard, is that all these people are working hard to create this income for their family and stretching their limits and, working in between their work schedule. They're trying to make something happen. And then just because of the date, it gets zapped away. And that was a hard stop for me. That was a hard, like, I think I'm just going to leave the industry altogether. I don't even want to be online. I don't want to do it. Like, this isn't working. If I'm on my phone all the time and I'm giving all this creative energy and I'm trying to help people feel better and make money, but then not even able to provide for my family, I might as well just break even and not do it at all. Focus my attention on our other business, like just be done. So really was praying through it, because I've always had this like entrepreneurial spirit, like wanting to create a legacy for my family. And just, again, no matter what age I've been, I've never been one to like enjoy being in the cubicle. Like, I just always wanted out. I wanted to be in nature. I wanted to run my own thing. And so when High Ticket came across my space, I was really skeptical. I was really nervous. I just told myself, well, you failed at everything else before. Why are you going to try this now? Like, that doesn't make sense. I sat on it for a little while before I even brought it to my husband, which he was my fiance at the time, and really prayed on it and sat on it for a little bit, watched the evidence. I had to see that a lot of people were able to incorporate it versus just top leaders, because I'd seen that before in other companies where a couple people win and they bring everybody in, and that's how they might make money and no one else does. And I wasn't for that. I was one of the ones that got brought along and didn't make money. And I finally woke up to that. And I said, no more. I need to see everyday people actually creating income. And once my brain had enough evidence supporting that with this particular business and this particular system, then I was able to go talk to my fiance, and like we moved forward. And it's been so exciting since. It's so fun to get, new people coming to my inbox and talking about their goals and their dreams. And my passion is to help women to be able to take courageous steps forward. And so this is something that provides resources at the same time of, like you were talking about, filling your cup and being a part of a community that provides a space where it's not just pouring out and giving out and always being tired and exhausted. Like, you get so much in this that it just is life changing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you touched on the like, hey, you watched for a little bit too, because I see that point of view. I totally understand, wanting to watch something to make sure everyday people are doing it, just like you said, because sometimes we do fall into something that doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
But everyone that I have seen come in the business and actually follow all the training, actually show up every single week. And you guys, we work 1 to 3 hours a day. I get this question all the time, and literally 1 to 3 hours a day. Like Sara said, she's done things before. I've done things before too, where I felt like I had to be glued to online in order to make anything happen and anything work. And we teach you how to work your business for you while you're not actively working your business. And what that means is we show you how to organically bring leads to you. And, you see me say all the time, people are in my inbox, this, that, and the other. Even when I wake up, this morning was one of those times. And so I disconnected last night, I don't know, 9 o'clock maybe. And when I woke up this morning, I had, encouraging messages from my team. I had messages of people ready to change their life. And you guys, that's the thing about this business. It's so easy when you literally just show up. You
Yeah.
just have to follow the steps and plug and play. And so I understand absolutely watching, but once you see that success, then you have to make a move, right? You
Yep.
have to step out and say, hey, this is for me. I've seen it work. And like Gwen just said, the longer you watch, the longer you're prolonging your win.
Yeah.
The longer you watch, the further out you're pushing your win. And not only that, but you're telling the universe and God and whatever you believe in, like that, hey, that's not for me. And so you can't change your life if you don't say yes to an opportunity or say yes to something you've never done before. If you want your life to change, you have to do something you've never done. And so for me, I was just like you. I was sick of being away from home and not getting to work on my own time whenever I felt like it, even if I wanted to work in my bed at 10 p.m., right? I wanted that flexibility and I was tired of being stuck going to work, right? So I found this opportunity 14 months ago and literally said yes in 2 days. I was in the group, watched the masterclass, watched how this is happening, hopped on a Zoom call, said yes, you know, got in the business in 2 days because like immediately when I saw this business, I got in the group to watch the masterclass and I watched the masterclass. I was like ready. I was like, this is it. I know it. Like this feeling overcame me. I knew I needed to act on this. And so, yeah, we see both sides, guys. We see people who watch for a while and we see people who are like, yep, I'm ready, all in. I was one of the people that did not wait. I was ready for change. So, yeah, Sarah, I just love your story because, um, you know, I have also been in other companies, and while I loved my time there, it didn't fill my cup in the way I needed it to. And like you said, no deranking here because we are direct sales. We're not MLM. So what that means is, you can earn here just by selling products. You don't have to build a team if you don't want to. And you can actually out earn your mentor. So a lot of other companies, you can't do that. You're stuck based on what your mentor does, and you can actually out earn your mentor. And I just love everything about that because you know, literally our company is literally handing you a business. They're saying, hey, here you go. Here's a business. Here's our compensation plan. We're going to pay you this. Not only are we going to pay you this, but we also have quarterly bonuses. We also have a legacy monthly, we call it our legacy money monthly for life, willable and deedable to your kids. So not only are we going to do that and finally pay you your worth, but listen, hey, we're going to take care of all the legalities. We're going to take care of all the overhead. We're going to put together all the things for you. We're going to come up with new products. We're going to come up with, advancement on the products we already have and certifications and all that. And hey, listen, you don't have to do anything. You just have to go tell people about our product. And not only tell people about our product, but you just have to share this opportunity with people, and that's it. All you have to do is share this opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's so incredible that you can simply share opportunity and earn your worth. Literally, they take care of everything for you. So, Sarah, you actually haven't been in the business quite as long as me, but you are further along than me, I would say, in business, as far as the people you're leading, and not only the people you're leading, but the amount of units that have come through your business. So if you could touch on when you got started in this business, how did that feel, and how did you hit such a powerful running start, right? Because I'm successful here. I've paid down 30K of debt. I have almost hit 2 10K months. I have been leading a large team and I'm doing extremely well. But you had a faster start, whereas I you know my first month in the business was good, so I don't know that I'd call it a slow start. I call it a slow start because I see other people doing it faster. It's not a slow start, but
Yeah.
anyway. And I gotta stop leaning up because I know where I'm probably getting it off. But I get so excited. Okay, anyways, I know that your start was a little faster than mine. So when you got into business and you got a bit of a running start, like you hit the ground running, and your team was popping off and you were doing amazing things. How did that feel for you, and how were you able to lead so quickly? Yeah, just coming into the business. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
So I was at a place where I had given so much for all those years, with zero return. Like either I was just dishing out the money for the products or maybe breaking even for the majority of those 12, 13 years. Like I believed in entrepreneurship to a fault at some point. And so when I came into this business, I saw the potential, I saw the numbers, I saw what was being provided. And it's not even potential, it's if then, like when this happens, this is how much you make. And being able to start off making 4 figures per sale, I'd never experienced that in any other online company. And using that information in my brain tagged with all the success stories I had seen, I just came in, and this time, instead of needing to know all of the information, because I always got stuck in analysis paralysis. I needed to know about all the products, how to do it. Like I needed to know the whole process before I could start it all. And it every single time failed. Like I failed every time because of that. This time I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it completely different. Like I'm just gonna come in running. I'm just gonna like figure out, I'm gonna listen to what my mentor tells me to do, and I'm just gonna do it. Made my first sale my first week, which was like the fastest success I've ever had in the online space. And then it just started duplicating fast on that. And actually, okay, sorry. Can you guys still hear me? Whenever I get calls, it interrupts. Can you hear? Okay. Um, so when people were coming on, like coming to me, because again, we do organic marketing. We don't like reach out, and we don't do door to door or anything like that. So when people were starting to come to me, I was so excited and in love with what I was able to share with people, because what I had experienced before was you only get $20, $30 per sale, maybe 100 if it's a big package. And I hated that. And now I could help women get a 4-figure commission. And even if they did 1 sale a month, that was life changing to almost every family. And so I could get behind that. And that is something that I love offering, because we are busy people. Everyone has a busy life. This was something that provided that financial income, doing the same thing that a lot of people already do, but more strategically, more intentional, and in less time. And so we followed the system, we followed the steps, and it just started getting faster and faster. Now, the reason I chose to step into leadership the way that I did was because my mentor was actually flying out of the country for a convention at the time. And I had only had 2 sales closed for me at that point. And so my calendar was booking up, and I'm like, I can't wait 3 weeks for her to get back. Like, it's either I have to step up and be courageous, and I've got the tools that I need. I've got all the resources right in front of me. I can choose to either step into my power and keep helping women, or put it on pause and potentially lose the momentum and potentially lose what I'd already built. So I chose to run for it, figure it out, messy action basically, and started taking my own calls and just running from there. And then one of my team members came on, was just a runner and loved it as well. She did not want to do nursing anymore. She wanted to travel. She had debt to pay off, all of that. So she, same thing, blinders on, didn't stop. And again, I'm all of a sudden the mentor now, taking on new calls. And so I just stepped into this leadership role, and we utilized the system, we utilized what we had to offer, and we were ourselves, and that really helped. And I understand what you're saying. Everyone goes at a different pace. Everyone runs a different race, and that's perfectly okay, because it doesn't matter who was where, when, and how. It doesn't matter in this company, in this business. You get to do what you need to do. When I was preparing for my wedding back in October, like we were preparing the month before, I had to step away a lot. Like I had other things I had to focus on. After the wedding, I was super tired. Like there was like the honeymoon phase, but just the aftermath of like all the building and planning and the actual getting married. Like there was a few weeks where I had to recover. And so being able to step away from my business and let it just sit as it was amazing. This week in particular, I've had a very busy week with our other company. We're hiring, we're expanding and growing, and it's taken a lot of my actual time. And I still was able to make some passive income because I trained other women this same system. So yeah, we don't have to create a team. It's not MLM. It's literally, you can just offer the product. No big deal. But there's also a team mentality. Just like if you're a manager and you're training your team how to do a job, like you're going to get paid off of that. Same thing. We invest in you. We teach you how to do the process. We lock arms with you. We close your first 75K in sales for you while you collect the commission checks. We want to make sure you know how to do this. We want to make sure you are set up for success and do not feel alone ever. And so part of that is creating passive income as well. And so that was a very big blessing for me, because I needed to focus my attention on some other things. Now, luckily, because we can commit an hour or 2 or 3 max, like to this business a day, I was still able to plug in when I needed, but the majority of my energy and time was spent elsewhere. And that was okay for this week. And that's what I needed. I needed a business that could ebb and flow and flex. And that's what we got. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you touched on there, because it is so true. The flexibility is amazing. And literally, one of my favorite parts of this business is teaching others how to do this. And
Yeah.
it's literally, I hand you a free training platform. I say, this is our training platform, go do it. We do have, weekly calls. We have chat team support, right? But you can run at your own pace.
Yeah.
And like you said, this week you didn't spend as much time on your business as you normally do. But that's okay, because you could still earn passively, because you chose to build a team, just as I am doing as well, which brings up, like, my son had surgery this summer, and I've been telling everyone, I don't know what I thought this summer was going to look like with an 8-year-old having surgery and needing to be watched for 5 weeks. But it did not look like I have a medical background, and it did not look like anything I thought it was going to look like. But that's okay, because you know what? My business still worked for me, and my business was still here. And like you said, I still earned passively. And so I think that there is nothing more special than having something at your fingertips that you can earn on. And not to mention, guys, like, yeah, there's an investment, right? But we, like Sarah was talking about with other companies she's been in, we don't pay every single month. We don't, one of my gals that's in the business with me, she paid for her products and then she was like, hey, but I need to pay for the business now. And I was like, no, you just pay for your products here. And
Yeah.
you're in the business. The only difference is we fill out W-9 for you so you can be a 1099 tax paying business owner, right? That's the only difference. There's no fees, there's no quotas, there's none of that jargon that people don't want to deal with. And so let me tell you, if you are looking for the easiest plug and play business, this is it. Sarah and I both have been in other companies and it doesn't work the way this works. So it is working for so many people. And, you know, as long as you work your business, it works. I tell everybody that because, our limiting beliefs try to stop us. They try to jump in and say, this isn't for you. That only works for certain kinds of people, and stuff like that. And that's just not true, guys. That's just a limiting belief coming in and saying, hey, we've never done this before, and trying to pump the brakes for you. But really what you need to do is you need to say yes, and you need to come in like Sarah did. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to know everything. We will close your first 75K for you. If you come in under me, I close your first 75K for you. And so the awesome thing about that is you can close sales and earn while you learn. And so I tell everybody that comes into this business with me, hey, listen, you don't need to know anything. Bring me people. That's all you need to do. Bring me people to talk to. And
Yeah.
literally, that's all it is. You just have to bring people to talk to me, and you get in the mentorship. And let me tell you, if you're doing what we show you to do and you're plugging in and you're locking in 1 to 3 hours a week, and you can find success here.
Yeah.
So, um, Sarah, let's talk just one more point that I want to make is just kind of, we already talked about like it fitting into your life. I have two kids. You're a blended family. You have more. How does it? Let's talk about the family aspect. How does it fit in with your kids? Like I've touched on before. Like I don't listen to a whole lot of music anymore. I don't watch TV. I'm like watching podcasts, doing this and that, and like my boys know, like sometimes by the voice, who I'm listening to, what it is, and all of that. So touch on that maybe a little bit, like as far as your kids kind of like seeing mom work, how does that flow for you? Because everybody here kind of knows, like, I just do it messy. Like you said, I just take messy action and I just do it messy, and I get interrupted a lot, even on lives like earlier, and I get interrupted, sometimes even when I'm doing a sales call, but I don't mind, because I want to show people that they can do this messy even if their life isn't perfectly put together. So maybe if
Okay.
you want to touch on kind of like that aspect a little.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of training, mindset, personal development, and then our free training app that we provide, I will plug in my earphones, and whether I'm cleaning, going on a walk, hanging out, like I'll, get that information that way so that it's super productive and not taking away from other things that I need to do. When I'm doing lives, like my younger one comes in, we have 3 teenagers, so 3 of them are in their rooms playing games most of the time. So that's just the stage we're at. The younger one is still a little bit needing, that one-on-one time or whatever. But for the most part, like I'll do sales calls where they're at school. For the summer, we have different camps and stuff. So I mix it in and out. But we started our other company, and I do this, and we talk about it in terms of we want to teach them about having their own legacy, their own schedule, creating something they can be proud of and commit to. And so the heart for me behind it is that you don't have to be stuck in a job. I want them to be creative, to create something that's going to help the world and to bring excellence to it. And so I think that it teaches them how to put family first, and that, you know, our world teaches that you have to go to school, get the degree, and work your way up, and work is the number one priority. Like, that's just how at least I was taught, you know, like work is the most important thing, and then you'll get a couple hours with your kids. And that's not me. That's not um to me, family is most important. Showing your kids that, like, it teaches in the Bible that you're going to leave a legacy for your children's children. And you can't do that by just missing their whole lives and being at a job and then barely making it, right? So for me, I have had to get more comfortable with having everyone in the house and like talking, because, you know, they're all doing their own thing, but the perfectionist in me is like, okay, I don't want everyone listening to me, which is so funny because I'm talking to an audience of people listening to me, and I have no problem with that, right? So I've grown in that aspect where before I didn't like getting interrupted, and now, like, if people come in, I can handle it better. So, you know, like the little one, sometimes he'll show his face on camera or whatever, right? Like before I was too narrowed in, you know, like this needs to be a certain way, and it's having kids jump in on our sales call. I love having that space for people because it does show them. Mine aren't little anymore, but I talk with a lot of women who have young kids, and they come and sit on their laps, or they come and wave in the camera when we're talking about this business. And it's evidence, it's proof to show you that you can do it no matter what your life looks like, no matter what stage of life you're in. If it's chaos and busy, you can still implement it. If it's quiet and you're in a season where kids are a little bit older or kids are out of the house, like, that's okay too. It's available for people no matter where you're at in life. And that's what's really cool. I love seeing people retire in their 20s in our community, and then people in their 50s and 60s as well. Like, there's just no limit to what this business can do for people if you come in and say, this is the dream I have, and this is the vehicle to get there. Show me what to do. Like,
Yeah, I love that you said that about retirement, you know, because some people come in and they're like, well, I love my job though. Can I keep my job? And yes, you
yeah,
absolutely can. We only work 1 to 3 hours a day from our phones, you know, and sometimes I don't even hit that. Like,
yeah.
somebody asked me, you know, like the July 4th holiday, Friday and Saturday, I'm pretty sure maybe I worked maybe 30 minutes every single day, between, you know, the 4th and that weekend. And so, you know, we strive for 1 to 3 hours a day. It doesn't always happen, and that's okay. But I love that here too, that we are retiring people in their 20s. I'm 33, retired in January. And yes, the younger generation is doing it, but also the generation that's came much before us, right? The generation that's retiring now, that's figuring out, like I talked to a gal this week. She's been a nurse for 42 years,
Wow.
and you would think they would be doing well, right? And
Mhm.
retiring and all this stuff. Well, they had some medical things come up, her and her husband both, that took that.
Mm.
And so, you know, here she is, ready to retire. She's worked her life, you know, she should get to retire. And she's like, but I need something more. I'm ready to step away and retire from nursing, but I need something more. And so, like you said, this also works for that generation. You know, Scott in our community, he just retired, and Tom as well. So even the guys in our community are seeing the value that this opportunity brings, the value that, hey, this is what's going to actually help me me reach legacy for my family. And so, unfortunately, working the 9 to 5 doesn't much even give you a legacy, much less giving your children a legacy. So I love that you touched on that. I think we've covered so much here today, and I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So let's drop me a comment if you are ready to just, hey, see what this is about. See what the heck I do online. Just drop me a comment and just let me know. Or you can just DM me too. Either way, I love talking to people, and I always say, like, this is not pushy, sleazy, or salesy. This is just, hey, this is an opportunity we found that's working for so many others, and we will not stop shouting it. So it is your due diligence to get the information. You can keep living how you are, or you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to step out on faith and I'm just going to get information. It costs zero to get information. And so I encourage you to do that if you've been watching. I am ready to help and mentor you one-on-one. I'll close your first 75K for you. So listen, Sara, leave us with one little piece of advice or one little word or whatever you want to leave us with today. I will let you close this out.
All right. For those that see the opportunity, see what they've been praying for, and take the leap, awesome. For those that need evidence, I'm telling you from my personal experience, get into the community, grab the evidence that you need to see people winning, get the information for yourself, but don't wait. We have a bonus right now. You get cash back, and I'm telling you, if you sit around waiting, it's just going to prolong your success story and your growth, because this ends up helping you blossom in areas that you didn't even realize. You will flourish in your relationships, in your mind, in things that you're struggling with. It's so much bigger than just a business. And so if you need the evidence, I'm not saying don't get it. We have a community that provides it. You can see it, but get the information, take the leap of faith, and move forward, because you will be so excited that you trusted yourself, you trusted God, and you moved forward. And you won't look back on this season and be like, man, I wish I would have waited 6 months. You won't do that. If you wait, you'll be saying, dang, if I would have just started sooner. So take the leap and reach out to Lori.
Yeah, so many people who, wait, it's after seeing them in the business and then come in, they're always like, I have one regret that I didn't start sooner,
Yeah.
And so, yes, I think that is an amazing point to end on.
Yeah.
And like she said, reach out, drop a comment, drop a heart, whatever you want to do. And we will be here for you. So listen, I hope you have amazing rest of your day, and we will catch you next time.
Bye,
See you
guys.
guys. Bye.